Hey there, this is B-Ray549. Thanks for tuning in. Well, yesterday I had my second hot summer Saturday tool haul of the year. And I tell you what, it was a good one. And I started out on Friday, actually, during my lunch hour. I was traveling around the town looking for garage sales, yard sales, anything like that, and I couldn't find a single one. And I thought, well, this is not going to be the week for this. And then I came home and I was talking to my wife, and she goes, oh no, there's a lot of them out here in this part of town. So I went out yesterday morning after I had done some work around the yard and around the house, and it was getting a little warm, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go kind of search those out. And there's one that said tool sale. And so my quest began. And although it was the sign that had the biggest sign that said tools, there were very little tools at all. And when I got there, the only tool that I saw that I was remotely interested in was this rigid pipe wrench. And I always like rigid pipe wrenches. They're just one tool that really hasn't changed much in 60, 70 years since Rigid came out with this design. And I always look at them, and I pretty much stick with Rigid brand. If I see another brand out there, Fuller, I don't know, Craftsman, any other brand I kind of stay away from, because I'm kind of a pipe wrench snob. And I like Rigid because they're American made. They've been around forever. And this one here, you can see how rusty that is. But really, if you peel away all that rust, I think you'll have a pretty good cast iron pipe wrench. And this one here is a 14-inch. So I asked the guy, I said, well, what do you want for this old crusty pipe wrench? He goes, $3. And I said, that's about just right. He goes, because I wouldn't pay much more than $3 for it. So I walked away with this pipe wrench for $3. I'm going to transform it, kind of bring it back to usable life. Actually, it's usable now. It's just kind of ugly. But we'll make this look a lot better than what it is. And then I went driving down the same road a little bit further, and I saw this yard sale sign. So I turned down the road, and the guy had two items that I was interested in. And so I went up and I asked him, I said, I'm interested in these two items here. This one here is a ratcheting hand pipe threader. It's made by Beaver, which is no longer in existence. This is actually usable, but I think the pipe dies inside look like they might need to be replaced. I'll probably try it out and see if it's even usable. But it actually rotates, and then when you take this lever, flip that around, it should rotate the other way. And it all looks good. It's just used and not really abused too much, really. It's just kind of had a good full life. So that's the second item. And this item, and this is the other item that I bought at that sale. And I think the total for those two items, it was like, I think one was $2 and one was $3. I think I walked out there giving them a $5 bill. This is the other item. It's made by Rigid. And you can tell by the logo in there is where it says Rigid, the D and the G link together. That tells you that it's fairly old. And in fact, this one here is a chain wrench, strap wrench type. It's a model C12. And they don't make it like this anymore. Nowadays, they make it with a handle more like a pipe wrench. Kind of like this one here. This is actually a canvas strap wrench. And I bought this, I think, last year somewhere at a garage sale. Extremely cheap. But this one's barely been used. It was not, I don't think it was used by a plumber, because it's in too good a condition after all these years. But that's the kind of handle they have nowadays. And brand new, they probably, I don't know, I'm thinking probably 60, 70 bucks for a new one. I saw this one on eBay for right around 40 bucks. I don't know if they're selling at that, but that's what they're advertising them for. And basically it has kind of like a bicycle chain, and you wrap this around the pipe, and then you reef on it, rotate it, and it grips onto the pipe and loosens it. After that, I was headed on my way to Lowe's, and then I was going to go to Cabela's. And so on the way to Lowe's, I had seen this estate sale advertised, and it had quite a few tools, had a lot of guns and ammo. And by the time I got there the second day, there was nothing. You couldn't even tell there was a single gun-related item in the sale. They said it went, in the first couple hours, it went like hotcakes. And there weren't hardly any tools left either. Everything at the sale on Saturday was half off, even though they're open Sunday as well. I couldn't believe that they had already dropped to half price. But I got this old Kennedy toolbox for $5, and it's not like I need another toolbox, but for $5 I wasn't going to pass it up, and I'll probably list it for sale at some point. But I'm going to clean it up a bit, and you can see there it has the logo inside the lid here, and it says it's a model, no, it says style number S19, and it has the removable tool tray. You know, you want to put your sockets on one side and the wrenches and extensions on the other. But other than that, the inside's pretty clean. It was really well taken care of. Nothing wrong with this toolbox at all. Here's some of the stuff that's in there. I mean, basically just junk, an old hacksaw. We've got an old file, probably a Nicholson. I can't read, my eyes are too bad. Some other stuff here. This looks like part to a pruner, where you pull that down and it pulls the blade towards the closure. Not really much here other than this here. We've got a Stanley 1/8 inch punch, and it's got a Thorson combination wrench 7/16, and that is in really good condition. So got that. And what's this? Oh, look at that. This was one of my look at that. That is it says Handy Pro. I'll tell you what, that's the same logo as the company I first worked for in high school. Back then it was called Handyman. So it looks like they want to be a little bit more acceptable in calling it Handy Pro. How about that? I didn't know that they had changed the name, because they closed up in our part of the country. I think it was the California companies. So $5 for all that, that's really a good investment if you ask me. So I was on my way home, and I thought, I'm done. I'm going home, and I'm going to kick back because it's really hot out. And I'm on my way home, going through the country, because I like to avoid the city if at all costs. And I'm driving down the country road, and there's a big sign that says tools for sale. And I'm driving by, and I'm looking out to the right, and I go, wow, there's got to be some old farmer tools in there. And so I stopped in, and I didn't know what to expect. I thought, well, I don't know, it looks like this place has been here for a while. And I get in, and I'll show you what I got. And so, well, you can see I had some license plates there. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yeah, let's take a look, see what we got here. So yeah, this is what I saw. Well, it had a lot of stuff there, but I'm only interested really in stuff that I can get that's going to be reasonably priced, and these were reasonably priced, and items that that I can restore or work on and bring back to life. So let me show you what I got here. This first thing here is a Stanley. It's like a cat's paw type nail puller, And that's actually in good condition. It's not beat up or anything, so I should be able to clean that up, paint it, and it'll look like new. This here is a open-end adjustable wrench, commonly called a crescent wrench. This one here is really old. It's made, it says B&C Springfield, Massachusetts, USA. And on the other side it says, looks like it says Bemis and Call Company, or Bemis and Call Company. So I'm going to do a little research on that one. This one here is just kind of like a lineman's plier. And, you know, it's got this one here. Sometimes they don't have, this one has like a wire cutter on both sides, putting on the gauge. And I always, when I buy these, I always make sure that the cutter side for the side cutter is clean, and that is clean. Everything on here is pretty clean. It's just dirty and it needs to be cleaned up. And let's see if it has a maker's mark. Okay, so it looks like it says made in England, John Barry and Company, maybe? I'll have to Google that one too. That's not going to take much. I wish the handle was in better condition. It's kind of got destroyed there a little bit. Here's another lineman's plier. This one is frozen shut. It looks like the cutter is good, and it doesn't close really straight, but maybe when I clean that up that'll fix itself. There's some rust starting in on there. Let me see if there's a maker's mark visible. Oh no, nothing. It's just totally rusted over. But I think there's something on this side. I can't read it, but when I clean it up it might be visible. This screwdriver, this is ancient. I mean, I don't know how old it is, but it's probably 100 years or better. Anyway, it's a wood handled screwdriver. I'm going to have to make new handle inserts for that, and it is really heavily scored with rust. Hopefully I can shine that up. It won't, there's too much rust to be patina, to be honest with you. So the only thing we can do on this is kind of restore it. It's not super straight, but I don't even know if I'm going to risk torquing it back. And here's an old framing hammer. And look at that. Still has the nail in it. The last time this guy used it, he pulled a nail out, and it's kind of stuck in there, kind of frozen in time. And let me see if I can see what it says on the side. Wear safety goggles on this side, and on this side, let's see here. Oh, it's made by Vaughan. Made in USA by the Vaughan Company. They're pretty good manufacturer of hammers. And yeah, it does. It's a little bit of, you can see a little bit of the blue on there. So this one will be fun to restore. Put a new handle on there. And looks like the checkering on the head of the hammer is really in pretty good condition. But it's been abused, obviously. Look at that. Then we go to the wood planes. This one here, it's got full of farmer's dust. And I'm not sure about this, but it doesn't have the little knob on the front, but it has a little indentation. But there's no way that anything was attached to it, so maybe they just used it like with the finger. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, let me know. Look at that dead spider. Okay, and another wood plane. This is the Stanley number 4.5. I don't think I have a 4.5. That's a pretty good find. Yeah, that one was $5. It's got some rust on the bottom, but after I get done with this will be a good plane. It looks like the blade is still the Stanley plane. The wood handle's broke, so if you want to make it usable, you'd have to replace that. But what I might do is, I don't know, since I'm not going to be using it, I might just take that off, clean it up, refinish it, glue it, and reassemble it to its original condition. So that's a good one. I don't have a 4.5. I got a 4 and a 5, but not a 4.5. That's pretty cool. This one here is the number 5. Does not say Stanley, but it's probably a Stanley or a Bailey, something like that. And it's pretty rusty, dusty. A lot of cobwebs on there. But yeah, that one was $10. I think it's worth $10, but you'd be hard pressed to get more than that in this condition. So I think it was a fair trade all around. And then I asked the guy, I said, "Do you have any license plates? Because I'm kind of a license plate collector." And he goes, and I could tell he hadn't thought about license plates. But he looked around. He said, "I might have some within arm's reach." And he came up with this old 70s original yellow and blue back, well, not original, but, well, yeah, it was since when I was a kid. 60s, 70s, this is the way they were in the 60s and 70s. And then they went to yellow background. They reversed it. This here's a heavy trailer license plate. These were tagged 1978. And then this one here he had. This is an old one. It's in poor condition. It's actually missing part of it. But for my use here, I'll probably just hang it up on the wall. It's not really worth much in this condition. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Anyway, hey, he said he's going to have that sale again next week. So I'm going to go back out there because they said they had a lot more to put out. So I'm going to go back out there and I'll take a video of the ride out there and show you where it's at. Anyway, that's a pretty good haul for my second Hot Saturday Summer Tool Haul of the year. This is B-Ray 549. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.